Hello fire signs, I'm going to be starting with Sagittarius. Quite frankly, I'll just do Sagittarius as a separate video and I'll come back with Leo and Aries because this story here is very similar to our weekly Patreon member reading, okay? Very similar. So I really don't know what's going on, but it feels very intense. I do have the fourth house here saying that, you know, obviously family could be involved. It can speak of parents, the mother, the actual property itself. Sagittarius is obviously why I'm reading for you. And Jupiter, so something's expanding here. Now that would normally be something that's quite lucky, but gosh, I don't know. I've got the monk and the nun in reverse. Now we did have that upright for who have I just done? I think it was the earth signs, wasn't it? So one of the earth signs, they had it in the upright. So someone who was keeping away from a King of Swords reversed, keeping away from a situation that, you know, really is something that's likely to escalate. So the monk and the nun reversed, and it's come through with the rhino. The main story I'm getting, and there is another, but I'm going to stick with this one. This is someone who's very single-minded. I actually don't know if it's just a someone. It might be a family. It might be a religious organization. I am getting religion yet again. It's very self-absorbed. It's someone, or again, a group of people who are kind of like removed from the real world, you know. So it can be like overly pious, and it is involving some sort of spiritual practice here. But I'm really feeling it's some sort of like religious zealotry, you know. The rhino is incredibly obstinate. It does say overcome any obstacle. I'm just feeling this is someone who is incredibly rigid in their thinking, and it almost feels like a sort of like, you know, a punishing environment here. Now this could also be someone who is very religious. You know, I've got the priest here and I've got an exorcist. Hello. And it is on a man. This is a man with the star in reverse who is misguided. It may be someone who's kind of lost their weight, maybe someone who's very depressed under a lot of weight. I don't think it's guilt, but this is someone who's having some sort of crises involving probably their faith. Maybe they've always been, you know, and I don't know, honestly, it could be any religion, but this is someone who's, you know, being very rigid in what they believe, and this is the way it is. And I think there's some sort of truth here that is, you know, kind of really knock someone for six. And that's one way of looking at it. This is also someone who's utterly misguided in terms of the advice they give, because as the signs run on, I have the dilettante for Leo, which is, you know, someone who is very superficial, basically pretends to have knowledge that they don't, with the turkey spirit saying that this is someone who's selfish, who does not give. And then I've got the teacher in reverse, and I've got the mentor at the base of the deck here. So there is like information that's coming from up on high with the tower. Either it's like a religious, you know, organization, or it's just a local church. It may even be the government, but the information is in some way corrupted, you know. It's been driven through. This is, you know, really just, it's literally verging on some sort of injustice, and I actually think it may go quite high up. The Ace of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the Star reversed here. This Age of Swords is usually a card of communication and truth. I'm seeing this as power and dominance. Now, there may be a truth that is revealed here about what this story is, and that may be quite devastating for someone. That may be where this religious trial comes in, where they do sort of lose hope, where they've followed some sort of guidance and it's been wholly inaccurate. But I'm also feeling it's just, you know, power. And it's a manipulative, controlling energy here. So the home and the snake would speak about a betrayal of the family, of the group. The house can be like a smaller building where the tower is, you know, right to the top. I feel this is sort of like manipulation that goes right to the top. This is like a sleazy organization. It's a sleazy government or an institution, because the snake is biting the tower. And the tower can be about, you know, protection and isolation. Coming back to the weekly, this is involving children in some way, because the Page of Pentacles is in reverse, and that is my student. The children are in reverse. They're like sort of squished between the Tower here, which can be any sort of institution for children. So we could be looking at a school, a college, a university, a nursery, adoption agencies, child protection services, child maintenance. But with the scythe here, this is a card of danger. There's harm being done to children. And similar to the, you know, the weekly, this was about someone who was coming in as the Messiah, who was trying to, you know, release groups of people, or at least one child, remove them from a situation that was not appropriate for them at all. The snake sets traps, you know. They're vile, jealous, betrayal, and it's big. This is big. Honestly, this combination can also speak of abortion, you know, and it may be like something that's in some way enforced. I can be paying someone to have an abortion, but there's something to do with not paying for maybe, you know, children, which is maybe why like child maintenance is coming in here. But there is some sort of danger. There's most definitely two cards of danger, backstabbing, betrayal coming through with the snake here. And now this can be about releasing someone from some sort of religious trial or some guilt or burden. But it can also be a dangerous belief system, you know. And this man is a priest and an exorcist. So either he's, you know, a very spiritual man. He may be a priest, a reverend, a pastor, some sort of religious leader. And they can also be someone who violates the trust of the spiritual community. This is someone who's seduced by their own spiritual role, overly pious, fixed in their opinion. This is someone who wants to drive through their agenda. And the exorcist saying this is somebody who has demons and they're not even prepared to face them. There's something, you know, corrupt. There's something wrong with the system. There's something wrong with the system involving schools, colleges, and religious leaders. Something very fucking wrong. The Ace of Swords might be that there's some sort of revelation or truth that comes through here. It's really, really disturbing. I don't know what I want. I don't really want anything. I don't know. Okay. So this man is out. It needs to be cut out, basically. Or as I say, this is someone who's, you know, had a very fixed opinion, and there's something that has sort of rocked their world here, and they've really just lost all faith. Maybe someone who's in a very deep depression. This may be someone who's plagued by, you know, what they think is actual demons, having nightmares, hearing voices. This is someone who, you know, and it may be in connection with a child or something from the past. The Tower can speak of something from the past, a betrayal from the past involving children. It's going to be someone who's cut off their children. And this is someone who's plagued by guilt. And is seeking out some sort of spiritual guidance. Right, let's have a look. Tell me more about the Rhino spirit with the monk and the nun for Sag. The Rhino spirit with the monk and the nun for Sag. Rhino spirit. Overcome any obstacle. Oh. What is that? It's a knight, but I don't know which one. The Rhino and the monk. The Rhino and the monk. It's the Page of Pentacles again. It's a child. It's a student. And there's the Five of Swords here in reverse. There's some sort of like shame or humiliation in connection with children or youngsters or money involving the family. What is the Ace of Swords with the House and Snake? Temperance. Ace of Swords. Snake and Tower. Nine of Wands. This is someone who's patiently defending their position. This is also someone who's sort of like, I mean, I'm seeing the Temperance. It is about protection. I'm seeing it as a kind of like fix-it angel, you know? It's also someone who's defending their peace here. So we've got two sides of the coin, so to speak. Show me what the Tower is about with the snake. The Tower and the snake. For Sagittarius, the Tower and the snake. Tower and the snake. Two of Pentacles. And the King of Cups. And this is juggling. Nine of Swords. This is drama. And now we've got the Emperor. The Emperor would be the Tower. So if it's not an actual organisation, well, this would be the leader. This would be the boss, the CEO. Something hidden about him. I really feel this is somebody who's trying to like balance their mind space, you know? Trying to keep their mental anxiety in check. And it feels like a very fluid situation. So there's someone who's like defending their peace, you know, trying to stay, you know, calm, zen, detached, fair. But it feels very, very fluid. Child in the Scythe. Knight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Wands. The Knight of Pentacles can speak of disloyalty. It's a stop card. It's nothing doing. It's usually the laziness. Child. It's the Nine of Cups. This is an energy of being like lazy and overindulgent. Like kind of, you know, tipping over. Someone who's not, you know, working, not supporting themselves. They're not having any wishes fulfilled, but I actually do see it as more of a kind of overindulgence. There's something hidden here. I mean, I know that anyway, but there is something hidden here. There's hidden pain. There's hidden betrayals. The Cross and the Man. Queen of Pentacles, the Mother. That's what's burdening him. And the Page of Wands. There's some shocking news here involving the High Priest in reverse. I'm seeing that as the Church. There's shocking news here. Whoever this man is, he's connected with the Queen of Pentacles, possibly the wife, the mother of the children. What's this news from the Page of Wands? Show me the Queen of Pentacles first. She's a sweetheart with a child. Oh gosh. And a priest. Bloody hell. In prison. This may be somebody who's got someone else pregnant, or maybe is like paid for an abortion, or is not paying for the child, not supporting a child. This may be a child that's, you know, nobody knows about. The shocking news might be that somebody has a child and they didn't know about it. And now they're like, you know, a spiritual leader, head of the community, and they've got this secret here. A child from the past with a third party. And there may be someone who's just, you know, cut that out. Cut out their responsibilities, because the Cross is a card of responsibility. They've just cut that out. They're, you know, walking around like butter wouldn't melt. you know, respected member of the community here, and they've got some sort of filthy secret in the past that's involving a child. Page of Wands can also be a fire side child. Tell me about the Page of Wands. Female enemy and the pleasure seekers. So this is someone who may have had some sort of affair in the past. And, you know, obviously there's a female enemy here. So this may be someone who's come back from the past, who's now looking for support for a child. The priest with the man. The priest and the man. He's a thief. He's taken something, sneaking into somebody's room here. Now he's all super sad about it. What's he taken? Falseness. The liar. About his priestliness. About, you know, his godliness. His faith. His chastity. And someone, I mean, if they're not in literal prison, this is somebody who's like trapped in a depression here. There's lots of secrets. And lots of thoughts. And lots of sadness about lots of lies. Yes, love? 2 minutes. I'm just in a reading.
Just on a reading?
Yeah, I'm just in one.
Oh.
2 minutes. Let me take you some advice, Sag. I'll give my boy's belly rumbling, which is pretty much 24/7. I do think there is, I mean, that is obviously tipped into an individual story here, but I think it's bigger than this. I think there's almost like, you know, dangerous religious people here. But there's an enemy in the family, or an enemy of the family. The seer. See beyond your current circumstances and stay rooted and grounded. Trust in higher forces. Well, no, somebody isn't trusting in higher forces anymore because they've been redirected or misguided. Someone's lost faith here. Lost faith in the church. Lost faith that things will be done fairly. So the seer, let's have a look. She's got her crystal ball out here. Look beyond your current situation, raise your vibration and focus on love. Most Indigenous people have a seer in their family or tribe. Seers are the intelligent and intuitive beings who serve as direct channels for information on what's occurring now and what's about to unfold. Their energy isn't about predicting your future, but showing you how your intentions are creating it. A true seer will help you see that your intentions can change, therefore so can your future. So the message of this card is to let the clairvoyant within you rise up so that you can see the way forward with your spiritual eyes. Clairvoyance isn't just about predicting the future. It's about being able to see clearly enough to create your best future. So you're being encouraged by your guides to see beyond what you think is happening now. Don't allow your ego or doubts to play games with you. Instead of seeing yourself as stuck or lost, know you're in an energetic holding space while the universe recalibrates a path that is more favourable for you. Angels of light are upgrading your energy so you can your experiences can be more enjoyable. Keep your eyes on the prize. I think that's this energy here. Just someone, as I say, who's like defending their peace, you know, defending. Yeah, it's really just peace and calm and moderation. And it's a wee bit like that other earth reading where somebody did remove themselves because they were using, you know, professional advisors, they were using middlemen, they were using people to act on their behalf in the situation, because it was really pointless getting in a room with the person that they were hoping to resolve their differences with. So there's a number of wee storylines in there. I hope you find it useful, Sagittarius. Please do let me know, and I'll come back with the other fire signs shortly. Right, bye.